Stygian, Reign of the Old Ones, takes place in the fictional city of Arkham, which has been caught between different dimensions. Everything is very bad. The inevitable end of the world is approaching. People eke out a miserable existence, so everyone's mood, to put it mildly, is low. In the city, gangsters and cultists who run the show can kill people in front of everyone, right in the middle of the street, or put on display a headless corpse with a cautionary sign. In a once fashionable hotel, everyone drinks and debauches. Mad folks live in a former bank, and hefty ghouls live in a warehouse. In addition, the Arkham Reaper appears from time to time, brutally chopping people into pieces. Stygian returns to the roots, in a way. The visual style and loading screens directly refer the American magazines of the 30s. And thanks to this, everything that is happening cannot and should not be taken too seriously. If other games based on Lovecraft's works really try to creep the player out, Stygian is more likely to try to invoke the mentality of American lawmen of the turn of the century, who could easily be impressed with the stories about alien mushrooms that try to steal the brains. Nevertheless, millions of references to specific Lovecraftian works are gracefully woven into the narrative. Actually, Stygian's main diamond is narrative itself, in a broad sense. By little means, the game achieves impressive results. The loading screens honestly warn the players that they will not be indulged in any way, and that's not exaggerated. In a magazine, for instance, you rarely see helpful clues as to what to do next. You have to brainstorm it yourself. And the characters tend to ask tricky questions, the answers to which you won't read in any travel note. Cultic Games has conjured a hardcore RPG in the best traditions of the first two Fallouts. And what's really nice, it encourages you to really role-play your character. Each of the 8 classes, the latter being an artist, aristocrat, gangster, soldier, professor, investigator, traveler, and occultist, has 3 key skills that should be upgraded. Various quest situations and even dialogues will serve as tests of each of those skills. The negative impact of despair basically comes down to the characters losing their sanity points faster. And those are very important in this game. In some places even more important than health points. Because if battles can and should be avoided, although there are those that cannot be, you can still easily lose your mind in a Lovecraftian game where your companion may suddenly shed his skin and turn out to be an alien monster. Whether you've seen something terrible, experienced a nightmare, fell into a dark room, witnessed a companion being severely wounded or killed, yes, they are all mortal here, the sanity points will melt in a blink of an eye. And when they drop to 0, your character will inevitably plunge into the fog of madness, and the game will end. Surviving in Stygian is essential not only in philosophical and metaphysical sense, but also in literal one. You and your companions, and this one is mostly a party RPG, may experience hunger and fatigue, and need to regularly consume rations, which should be replenished in every possible way, by searching all caches within your sight, or by buying food in stores for cigarettes. And yes, the game world is not limited only to Arkham. You also have access to the surrounding area, which opens gradually, but note that the journey through a global map is dangerous and is worth preparing for, because anything can happen along the way. All in all, Stygian suggests a fascinating story full of secrets and colorful characters, many opportunities for non-linear quests and role-playing, Lovecraftian atmosphere of madness and decline, rich role system, interesting mechanics of despair and madness, logically woven into the gameplay, chic jazz, great sound work, and perfectly drawn picture. In no other video game has Lovecraft's Legendarium been so carefully preserved.
Terra, as a survivor of this catastrophe, you should investigate the strange occurrences in the city and survive the rising darkness, physically and mentally, if possible.